we can address this issue. How will I start it? Let me start with the people who are in the workplace already. Okay. Then maybe tomorrow we can address those people who are not working. Okay. So let's start with those who are already in the job environment right now. Continue tapping, sharing the live, and joining the Heart Me's up there. Genia, you're welcome. Take out your notebook, your pens, invite yourselves, be ready to contribute. Because at some point in time, I'm welcoming all interjections to, emphasize important points that we will be making. When you're working for a narcissist, or if you are in a toxic working environment, one of the things, let's focus today on those who are already working. The first point is that you will be able to tell because you're being overworked. If you're being overworked, that is one of the most telling signs that you're in a toxic working environment, that your boss is a narcissist, or the narcissistic culture in your profession is rife. Ayla, you're welcome. So when you're being overworked, you're made to do more hours than is healthy for a human being. There's no work-life balance. You'll notice that you're working and working and working like a robot, and you do not have a social life. You don't have to recover time. You don't have time to recover. You don't have time to date. You don't have time to hang out with your friends, with your family. You don't have time for your other associations which are not professional. When you're overworked, you're also underpaid, because a narcissistic boss will not overwork you and pay you for those hours that you're working. You won't be paid for all those hours. If maybe you're supposed to work for 8 hours and you're working for 16 hours, 12, 15 hours every day, you're still gonna get paid for the 8 hours. You're being underpaid. That is called modern day slavery. Modern day slavery is when you're working and making money for someone or bringing value for someone, but yet you're not getting paid for it. And when you're being overworked, you realize that usually in that narcissistic job dynamic, you're the fall guy. You're the scapegoat of the company. There are people who have favors in that company, and those people can take breaks. They can take unfair breaks. If they need to go out, or if they need to pretend that they are sick or something, or they need to rest, usually you will be the fall guy. All the shifts will be given to you. And while you have less favor, you will end up being the scapegoat of the company. They heap all those things onto you. So when you look around, you'll notice that there are some people who are treated with exception, but not yourself. You're being overworked because you're working for other people. That's modern day slavery. And for the hours that you're filling in for them, they are still getting paid. That's how you know you're working in a toxic working culture. That's one way you're being overworked. The second thing you need to understand about a toxic working culture is that you are underinformed. You're underinformed. You're not given information the way you're supposed to receive it. You need to understand this very important point. Information concerning your job description, concerning changes or modifications in the workplace should come from your manager. It should not come from anyone else in the company. So when you're being underinformed, you realize a triangulating pattern between your manager, you, and some of your colleagues. Your colleagues will seem to know your role more than you know it yourself. Phyllis Derito, you're welcome. Keep tapping on the screen, guys, sharing the live and all that. So while your colleagues are aware of your role, you'll possibly be finding out about it while you are in the field having a quarrel, while they are blaming you. That's how you discover that there's something you are supposed to be doing. It was not communicated to you. Thank you for the roses, Ray. Keep sending those, guys. We accept them all. We're making this very important point that in the toxic working culture, you're working for a narcissistic boss. You are underinformed. That's one way you know that you're working for a dark tetrad personality. This boss will not give you the information you need. And it's not that that information is not out there, but they will give it to specific people. They are flying monkeys in the company as a controlling measure over you. So that when you're in the field, that lack of information is what you're chasing after. And while you're chasing after it, you have been subjected to people who are not your boss to be the ones to give you that information. I don't know if you can relate with me, guys. And while this is happening, abuse is happening. Because they are not doing it in good faith. They are doing it as a devaluation of you. Show you how useless you are. They are looking for ways to blame you later. They are looking for reasons to trap you or to blame you in the future. They are finding information that they will document so that they can use it for further triangulation. To try and show you that you are incompetent, to gaslight you about what you don't know about what you know about the job. Don't know if some of you can relate. Have you ever been in such a situation where you're in your workplace, and instead of the information about your job description and all the modifications that coming from your boss, they come from specific colleagues who are very particular. It's not just general colleagues. They're very particular colleagues who are very close to the boss. When you're underinformed in this manner, just know you're being trapped. They are gathering info to use against you later because there's a discard that is coming in the future, like it or not. Yes. Guys, I'm learning how to use this. Right? Okay, so yes. We are talking about navigating the professional environment if it is narcissistic in nature, because we cannot avoid these narcissistic dynamics even in the professional field. We made a point a few days ago where we said it is very important to be financially independent because that will represent freedom from your narcissist. But while you're pursuing this independence, this financial freedom, you will find narcissistic people in the professional field. That's why we're having this live tonight. You're welcome, Kenneth. To that point I want to make about this topic is that you're not only underinformed, but thirdly, you are misinformed. you're deliberately given incorrect information, or the information that you receive is delayed in such a way that it is not effective, and not just ineffective, but it is damaging to your career. For example, there's a task you're supposed to do or to perform. What did I press there? But the instructions that you receive come at the very last minute. Okay? Or you are given this, you are misinformed. Deliberately, you are told this. In 2 days, this. When it is 1 hour to, hi everyone, I'm at work, can't talk. I understand, Ken. Keep tapping on the screen, guys. Share the live. I appreciate you. We are talking about navigating narcissism in the workplace. We're making the third point tonight about misinformation, deliberate misinformation. If your boss is a narcissist, you will be misinformed as a coercive control tactic. They will give you information that is incorrect, and then just when it is just about due, say a deadline, they'll now quickly give you the correct information and expect you to do maybe a week's job in 1 day. Of course, you won't be able to do it. But you see how narcissistic abuse works is it abuses you without evidence. Because now this person will come and say, can't you see that I gave you? Did you know? I told you. This is the text. I can show you the text. I can show you the email. I told you that this is what will be required of you. So you're the one who has failed. Again, they are emphasizing your incompetence. It's devaluation. Because this kind of an environment will decrease your value, will gaslight you about your competency level. You're being misinformed, you're being gaslit, you're being tasked with impossible adaptations. They start telling you you're not adaptable, you're not quick, you're slow. You ever worked for people who would keep calling you slow? That's a very, very telling word when you're working in a narcissistic dynamic. They always tell you you're slow, but they are changing things that they misinformed you about at the last minute. They require you to do something that takes 8 hours in 1 hour. If you're not able to do it because they gave you information late, they start calling you slow, start calling you incompetent. TikTok is saying some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community experience. All right. Keep tapping the screen. Share the live. We are talking about narcissism in the workplace. You mentioned the first point, you're being overworked. Second, you're being underinformed. Third, you're being misinformed. The fourth point is about appraisals. Appraisals has to do with an appraisal basically has to do with a review. In a healthy working environment, the boss should give you a review about how you're progressing, how you're doing in the work environment. An appraisal should consist of both positive and negative reviews, but with good intention. It should be constructive criticism, where criticism is required. Criticism in such a way that it causes you to be better and you're also empowered. Provisions are made to make sure that you become better. An appraisal is a marker of a healthy working environment because appraisals make you better. If you're given reviews about what you did well, what you did not do well, and where you did not do the best that you could, you're advised on how to improve, and provisions are given, even physical, on how you could become better. But if you're working in a narcissistic culture, you see, you being a valuable employee is unacceptable to a narcissistic boss and their flying monkeys. Because it would mean that you're valuable. But you see, you cannot be dealing with a narcissist and they get themselves to be able to see you as valuable. They can't, they have to be the only valuable people. Because if they are not the only valuable people, then it means the dynamic is horizontal. It's not vertical. You're not looking up to them. You're just as competent, you're just an equal, which is unacceptable in this kind of a toxic environment. This is why appraisals are given, reviews, to tell you how you're doing. And you'll notice that in a narcissistic culture, even when appraisals are given, they'll only be negative appraisal, negative feedback, and it will not be constructive criticism. It will be destructive criticism. This is what will happen if you're working for a narcissistic boss. And even that negative feedback, you might not receive. They might just, keep that information and document it and note it down and just try and fill up the file because they know they want to use it to take you down later. So if you're not getting appraisals in your workplace, a one-on-one between you and your manager, and if the appraisal doesn't go the way I've described it, then it's not a good sign. You're working in a very toxic working environment. Another point you need to know has to do with you, has to do with your instincts. If you feel in your body that working in this environment is causing you to always be in a state of hypervigilance, you're always looking around, walking on eggshells, afraid of doing something wrong because you always seem to be doing something wrong in the eyes of these toxic bosses. If you're always feeling an overbearing of emotion, you're feeling as if you're being followed, as if you're being judged, as if eyes are stuck on you. You're not dreaming. Gang stalking is taking place. There's witchcraft involved. Now, these are things people don't realize. There's a lot of witchcraft in the professional field because narcissists use anything to gain leverage over you. They will usually use the spiritual means also. People are going to see mgangas and witch doctors and warlocks. People are witches. People are sorcerers. People are waking up at night and performing rituals with your name, and your pictures, and your documents, and your files, and everything. That's why when you report to your workplace, you feel like you have brain fog. You can't think straight. You can't think properly. And you know this is not you. Then they begin to call you slow. It is a mechanism that has been constructed deliberately using dark powers. Witchcraft is taking place. If your instincts feel or cause you to feel hyper vigilant in your workplace, just know you have colleagues who are very narcissistic and very dark. Keep tapping the screen and sharing the live. This might save a life. You're always hyper vigilant. You always feel like you need to be defending yourself. You're always on the defense. You're always explaining away false accusations. You're always needing to prove yourself to your boss. Let me ask you something. If this were a healthy, healthy working environment, How is it that your boss has an ear, always seems to have an ear for those who falsely accuse you? Why? Because you've been defending yourself, you've been gossiping. There's a gossip culture, there's a slandering culture. People forming cliques, people forming gangs, people behaving in this way and that. And they always seem to have an ear with the boss, so that you always need to keep defending yourself from false accusations. Why are they believing? Why is the boss believing them? Why does he or she need to believe them? It's because they are actually the ones orchestrating these dynamics, these toxic dynamics. They are the instigators. You're working for a narcissistic boss. If you look at your colleagues and they are acting like this, stop looking at your colleagues, because bosses are using your colleagues as a deflection, so that you do not look at where the source of the problem really is. If the boss was a straight person, all the workers would behave properly and professionally. You're being abused at your workplace because it is your boss who is instigating it, especially if they are not outrightly defending you and putting measures such as disciplinary measures in case such incidences occur. Nemo, hi.
Hi.
What do you think about today's topic? We're talking about navigating the toxic working culture. And we thank you for joining. How are you doing? Say hi to us.
I'm good. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience you'd like to share about a toxic working culture that you are involved in?
I have a lot to say, though. Maybe I can speak in
Yeah,
Swahili. Is that okay?
that's okay. That's okay. You can speak in any language. Guys, keep tapping on the screen. Keep tapping on the screen. Encourage Nimo. She's about to give us her story, and also feel free to join, to invite yourself to be the next one in line to speak. Keep commenting and also heart me up there to join the fan club. Nimo, you're welcome. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Sasa mimi
Karibu.
nimeolewa na narcissist for
Hmm?
20 years. Yeah. So I have seen nimeona mambo, nimepitia mambo mengi sana. Nimepitia mambo, yani nilikuwa napitia vitu nashindwa hizi vitu ni normal ama ni mimi niko na shida. Cause huyo mzee angekasirika tu from nowhere, ananirusha nje, hata kuna time alinifukuza nikiwa na mtoto mdogo, akasema siwezi enda na mtoto. So siwezi enda na watoto kwetu, cause alikuwa anaona kwetu kuna shida sana, I think. So anasema siwezi beba watoto wake, so nawaacha, anaita madada zake wanakuja kulea. That time sikuwa na place inaweza enda sikuwa na pesa na hakunipatia pesa, sikuwa na mtu. Yani that time tulikuwa Eldoret. So nikaenda kutafuta kazi ya nyumba. Nikakutana tu na mama, nikamwambia natafuta kazi, na nilikuwa nimeenda place kubwa sana miguu juu, nakumbuka sina pesa. So vile tu nikaona sasa kumekuu siku, nikaanza kujiuliza sasa nitaenda wapi, nimefukuzwa, sina place ya kwenda. Nikaona tu mama akitoka kazi, nikamwambia shida yangu, akaniambia wacha kesho nitakupeleka, kuna mama anatafuta mtu wa kazi mahali ninafanya, ni neighbor, so nitakupeleka. So I think tulienda tukalala kwake, asubuhi akanipeleka. Usiku nikalia sana juu ya watoto wangu, singeweza kuvumilia. Huyo mama akasema haezi niajiri kazi, so akanifukuza. Akanifukuza. So huyo mama akaniambia, sasa juu umefukuzwa kazi, enda kwa msichana wangu mahali fulani, mkae naye until ujue tutafanya nini. So nikaenda kwa huyo mama. So huyo mtoto wake pia alikuwa na mtoto mdogo na alikuwa anafanya kazi, akaniacha hapo, nikimwangalia mtoto. So masaa zingine hapo saa 4 nikatoka na mtoto hapo nje na ma stress zangu, kuangalia kama kuota jua So nikiwa hapo tukiota jua, kulikuwa na wamama wengine tu hapo juu, ilikuwa ni kama kaslums hivi. Huyo nikasikia wamama wakisema, umesikia mtu fulani ameacha kazi? Nikasikiza. Tulikuwa tunaishi Langas, Eldoret. Umesikia mtu fulani ameacha kazi? Mimi nawasikiza tu but siongei na wao. Anasema ati amesema haezi ishi mahali, haezi fanya kazi mahali bibi hayuko, ati bibi alifukuzwa na bwana. Mimi nikawauliza huko ni wapi mnasema? Wakaniambia. Nikaona ni kwangu wanaongelelea. Niliwachanishia huyo mtoto. Nikakimbia police station nione kama watanikubalisha nichukue watoto wangu niende nao home. Kwetu ni Nakuru. So kwenda police station, wakaniambia wanajua huyo bwanangu, hata ni kama ati wamewahi kuja nikawapikia chai. So wakaniambia hawezi ingililia mambo ya ndoa. Wakaniambia wewe enda msikizane na bwana wako. Mimi nikaenda nikakuta mother-in-law kumbe ashakuja. Do you know mother-in-law, nilifukuzwa mother-in-law akiwa hapo. Yeah. Nilifukuzwa mother-in-law, alinipatia tu 500 bob. Akaniambia niende home. Niliacha mother-in-law. Nikaenda home nikilia. Mtoto wangu hata I think hakuwa amefikisha 6 months. Mtoto wangu hanyonyi, hakuwa ananyonya. Sasa ilibidi aache kunyonya, wanampatia maziwa. It was that bad. Yani that is one example of what I have gone through because of being married to a narcissist. That is one of things that I have gone through. I have gone through worse things than that. Na sasa tumekuja kuachana 2020 something. 2020 nilikuja kujua kona bibi mwingine 2021. So nikatoka sasa najikalisha. But sasa after kutoka sasa ndio nimeona, hata nilikuwa namwambia before nitoke, nilikuwa namwambia kuna uchawi mnatumia kwenu. There must be something you people are using because nimekuwa nikipitia mambo mengi kwa hii boma na sijawahi toka. Umekuwa ukinipitishia mambo mingi. Ni kama mlikuwa mmenifunga kwa chupa. Yani unafanyiwa vitu but uko tu hapo. Uko tu hapo, umekwamilia tu hapo. Mimi nilikuwa nafikiria kwa akili. By the way, sikuwa nimejua anything to do about narcissism. I didn't know, hata hiyo jina nimesikia tu juzi, na nilisikia after nimejua na bibi mwingine akaleta a counselor atukanso mimi na watoto wangu because ati ndio tukubali nimeoa bibi mwingine ati tukubali. Though we were tulikuwa wabaya sana mimi na watoto wangu because watoto walikuwa naona kenye napitia. Then as a mother ukiwa na anxiety unapeleka kwa watoto, unawapitishia kwa watoto wanapata anxiety. It was that bad. It was very bad. Nikikuja kujua hata mi usema ni God tu. I think God aliona huyu mama amepitia sana, akanifanya tu nikajua password ya simu yake, nikaona jua alikuwa nashinda tu simu yake imekuwa tu na mapassword all through. Ungeenda through simu yake. So kuenda through, siku ya kwanza sikuona anything, siku ya pili ndio niliona akona bibi, na si hata niliona mtu mmoja, niliona alikuwa na relationship nyingi, sio huyo peke yake. But sasa ile ilininini sana ni kuona akona bibi hadi wanapigwa pictures wakiwa wameshonesha manguo zinafanana hadi na mtoi, hizi vitenge watu wanashonesha yeye alikuwa ana shati ya kitenge, bibi amevaa kuna vile zinafanana na ya mtoto pia. Nikashindwa, what is this? Huyu mtu hakuwa analala nje, but alikuwa anakuja usiku sana, asubuhi. Alikuwa anakuja asubuhi. So hajailala nje, so kususpect ati ako na bibi mwingine ilikuwa ngumu, haungejua. Though nilikuwa naona huyu mtu vile anakujaga usiku ni wapi ananiambia tu juu yeye ni mtu wa siasa, ananiambia tu ni mambo tu ni kazi juu alikuwa tu ni mtu wa siasa, alikuwa that time kwa gava. So me after sasa hiyo all these things mi naona ile uchawi inakuaga. By the way, ile kitu imenitoa kwa hiyo nyumba juu nilivumilia, nikasema kama ni hivyo acha tu nivumilie juu watu waliniongelesha, vumilia, we bora uko na kwako na yeye aletwi huku, we utaishi maisha yako na yeye waishi maisha yao na huko, you see. Nika watu tu wakaniongelesha, fika sijui kwa huyo ni bwana wako sijui nini, but mimi nikiangalia ile kanjia tumepelekana na huyu mtu, ile kanjia amenipitishia kwa hii marriage, naona hapana, this is too much. Hata nikamwambia kila kitu iko na mwisho wake. Hakuna vile utaishi kunifanyia vituko then after umeoa tena nivumilie, you see. Hai make sense, ina make sense hata kidogo. So nilivumilia, nikavumilia, nikaona huyu mtu bado. Kwanza alikuwa ananiambia ati sasa kutoka sasa utakuwa ukijua kenye unafanya. Unajua mimi saa hiyo time sikuwa nafanya kazi, so ananiambia ati utajua kenye utakuwa ukifanya kwa hii nyumba, kama ni school fees utakuwa ukilipa, kama ni kupea watoto chakula ama kuwanunulia manguo, na saa hiyo hauna anything, na anajua na yeye ako na pesa. Na vile alioa akaniambia yeye ameoa juu anaweza kunini familia mbili. Then kidogo kidogo amesema hapana, lazima ujue kenye utakuwa ukifanya kwa hii nyumba sijui nini. So mimi tukapelekana tu. Sasa saa hiyo kwanza mimi nikaingilia ulevi nini, nikaanza kulewa mbaya. Jisa stress zimekuwa mingi. Mtu anakuambia ati na huyo mwingine ati huyo bibi mwingine ako na pesa zake, hata anitishaki. Sio kila mtu, sio kila mtu anategemea wanaume. Yani alikuwa ananiambiaga vitu zingine hapo mpaka unashindwa, we utatorokea wapi? Utaenda wapi? Saa zingine hata anasema wewe jua vile mtakula, anaenda kwa huyo bibi mwingine anakaa huko. So mi Kenya naweza sema hii mambo ya narcissism iko na uchawi mingi sana, uchawi. Juu kuna time unaona wakati wa COVID nilikuwa alituambia twende Embu. Tulikuwa tunaishingi Embu. Akatuambia twende huko, tuko na nyumba Embu. So akatuambia twende ukaishi huko hakuna corona mingi. Kumbe ananiambia hivyo ndio abaki na mtu wake. So nikiwa huko mimi nikirudi Nairobi nilikuwa nashikika, tumbo inaniuma. Kila time nikitoka Embu na kitambo nifike Nairobi nilikuwa na gojeka, tumbo inanishika, naumwa na nikifika kwa nyumba inaacha. Nashindwa hadi nikapigia madhaino nikamuuliza ni nini na happen. Mbona nikitoka Embu nikielekea Nairobi naumwa? Nasikia hadi kama nitajiharia. Naumwa. Mimi ndio nilikuwa namwambia kuna uchawi mingi sana hapa. Uchawi, yani hata saa hii nikienda kwa hiyo nyumba juu mimi huenda kuona mtoto. Mimi urudi sirudingi nikiwa mwenyewe. Narudingi tu nikiwa mtu different kabisa. Like mimi hata nikienda job kwangu pia sikai vizuri. It is so, I don't know. Wanakubadilisha unakuwa kitu kingine. Yani huwezi rudi yule mtu mwenye ulikuwa before. You can't. Huwezi rudi tena kuwa normal venye ulikuwa. Unakuwa tu mtu different kabisa. Yeah. So it is that bad.
Thank you Nimo for saying hiyo, kwa kusema hiyo. So for the sake of the English speakers, wacha niongee kwa lugha ya Kimombo. Si ni sawa? Utanielewa nikiongea kwa Kizungu? Okay, sawa. Okay, sawa. All right, so for the English speakers who are listening, Nimo has shared a very important story about her personal experience with her marriage to a narcissist. And there are a few things that she's been mentioning which I'd like to just pick up on. And then, let me see, I'm also learning how to use this. Allow me. Okay. So the first thing she said is very important. It's very relevant to today's topic. Although she's talking about marriage, today's topic about the workplace, narcissism in the workplace, is very relevant because you see, there are themes about women and working, women and financial independence, women and money. Kindly mute. Nimo, you can mute. Nilikuwa nimekuwekea 3 minutes, but you can mute yourself. Kuna noise in the background.
Yeah.
I can mute you. Okay, so yes, there are a few things she has said which are very important. We've mentioned about witchcraft in the workplace. She's also mentioned about witchcraft, her experience with witchcraft in the home. But the main topic that we're talking about today, which is also very relevant to the story she's given, is women and financial independence. Because you see, money is the answer to all things. If you're financially stable, you can be able to free yourself from a narcissist. You'll only be left with the trauma bonding to deal with and all those kinds of things. But the physical location, the physical geography, you'll be able to deal with because you can be able to meet the needs of your children, of yourself. So these are the kinds of stories you get to hear when we are not financially independent. Tomorrow's life will be geared towards those who are actually looking for a job and what to look out for. Today we were looking at the toxic working environment, those who are already in a toxic working culture. But the bottom line from Nimo's story is that you need to be financially independent. In fact, my recommendation is that if it's possible, pursue completely with all your might being your own boss. Do your best to be your own boss. Hata kama ni ka-M-Pesa tu, fungua ka-M-Pesa kako hapo tu kando mahali. Something small, just do something on your own. If you don't have to report to someone, the better. Because in the workplace, narcissism is rife. And if you are not a narcissist, you are a target of narcissists. And if they hold the power, there's no going around it. There's no going around it. Because they hold the say. They are the ones who hold the check. They're the ones paying you. So actually, if you're in a channel such as this one, but they continue tapping the screen and sharing the live and sending your roses, gifts, and hurting me up there, join the fan club. If you are not financially independent, it's very difficult to free yourself from the grasp of a narcissist. And if you're working in a narcissistic culture, you must know how to navigate yourself around these toxic people until you are stable enough to move to a better place or to be your own boss, which will be tomorrow's topic. So yes, I don't know, Judy, how are you? Would you like to join in and say something? What do you think about navigating toxic working cultures? What do you think about narcissism in the workplace? Maybe before you come in, I can say one point is that because you're working in a narcissistic culture, I want you to know, if you will not become a flying monkey to the narcissist, the narcissistic boss, if you will not pander to their abuse, hear me clearly, the discard is coming. Thank you, Kenneth, for the heart me. Continue hearting me, guys, up there. Join the fan club up there. So you have to be aware that the discard will come. And the way a narcissist will discard you will be in such a way that you are the one to blame. You will be the culprit in the discard. They are the ones discarding you, but they will still blame you. They can even sue you. So I want to prepare you, because I know some of you are working in these cultures where they are steeped into narcissism. Do this. Start recording and documenting everything. Have an incident report. Record when it happened. Document who was there. Were there any witnesses? Did you report? What did the HR say? What was the response? Because I'm telling you, the discard is coming. Your boss will fire you. Whether they will constructively dismiss you, which is basically means they will frustrate your progress. They will gatekeep your progress, and they will frustrate your job until you leave yourself. That way they will say you're the one who left. But technically, they're the ones who fired you by the way they treated you. And these cases can also be taken to court. You can actually sue for constructive dismissal. But you see, you will need all this evidence. You'll need to have documented all these things. You'll need to have reported. Otherwise, they'll say you never reported. You need to have witnesses, because they will say, who else did it happen with? Who else can witness to this? In fact, sometimes you'll need to find people who have been fired and make friends with them and commit them to be witnesses in case you want to engage with the law. And if you can find someone within the company who is just like you, have that same conversation. Purpose to be witnesses to each other's abuse. Because if you are isolated, you have no answer. By the time you're getting discarded, ukifutwa job, ni bado wewe utablamiwa. Atakufuta job na bado akusue. They'll still sue you as if you're the one who did wrong. This is what will happen, inevitably. If you're involved with a narcissist, there's no other way. Remember, there's a video I made about the 5 stages of narcissistic abuse. From the start, love bombing, all the way to the discard. Because the discard is coming. It's inevitable. It must happen. If you do not become a recruit, become a flying monkey and a narcissist, likewise, just like the others, this is what will inevitably happen. That's why I'm saying, if you're in that kind of a culture, document everything. Because even when you're breaking away, remember, a narcissist does not attach in a healthy way, and a narcissist does not detach in a healthy way. And if they view you as an extension of themselves, if they think they own you, you thinking, daring that you can leave the job, that you can break free, is an insult to them. They'll take you down for it. So you need to anticipate, because you know how dark tetrad personalities work. This channel is about setting empaths free. We are awakening you. There are people who move in this manner in this world. And I don't want you to be a victim just because it's in the professional field. Are we together, guys? Keep tapping the screen, share the live, heart me up there, join the fan club. Send your roses, send your gifts. I appreciate those who are doing it. Ray, Kenneth. I also want to give a warning to you. Because kama wewe ni an empath, if you're an empath, if you're a chosen one, if you're a beautiful soul, you know what you bring to the table. You're a very giving, very loving, very forgiving, very accommodating person. You like giving second chances and third chances and 10 chances. It's just the way we are wired. But this is a warning to you who are working in narcissistic dynamics. No matter how strong you are, because you are strong, definitely you are. But no matter how emotionally strong you are, how high your EQ level is, it will take a toll on you if you remain. You've heard Nemo saying there's a time she even felt sick. And you know what she was describing there, you Swahili speakers. Her tummy was not working well. You remember the video I made about should I leave or should I stay? I mentioned, I think it was the second point, about somatic experiences. In your somatic experiences, your body will tell you that you can't take what you think you can take. You'll start falling sick, you start forgetting things, you start doing things that are not the norm with you. You'll start having a short fuse. You get angry very fast. Because you see, let me use the example of skin. So there are 3 layers on human skin, right? So there's layer 1, the top layer, then the middle layer, then the other layer down there. So what happens? This is an analogy to explain to you why you're even changing. Now you even seem to be hot-tempered. Someone just does something, you get angry. You react in a way that you wouldn't have reacted like before. It's because your skin layers have been eroded. Just because you had 3 layers doesn't mean They are not being eroded or corroded. So that by the time it gets to the third layer, your nerve endings have been exposed and you're so sensitive. Just a touch like this feels like you're a bee stinging you. One of the ways that those guys, what were they called? The Syrians. They used to torture people during Bible days. Remember when Jonah was sent, akaambiwa go to that land and preach. He was so angry with them because they used to be vicious people. They used to torture people. It's called flaying the skin. So they used to flay the skin and then throw you without the skin, with the nerve openings, with the nerve endings exposed. They dip you into a pit of salt and you burn to death. You ever seen how a slug or a snail reacts to you pouring salt on it? That's how you die. Welcome, Tabi. It's the same experience. You're being corroded, your skin is being corroded. If you're in this situation and you're not living, fine, you can take a lot, but you're not an angel. You're not invincible. And the trick is, or the deception is, just because you're able to take a lot of it, you think you will be able to take it forever. But your resources are being depleted without your knowledge. You are running out. Okay? You do not have endless supply. Do you understand me? This is why on this page, we do not teach people how to stay in narcissistic dynamics. We teach them how to live. That's the only thing we push here. If you want to learn how to, see if you can work out with a narcissist, find another page. On this page, we are totally separating from them. That's the only thing we are working towards. Even if it can't happen in one day, that is the only thing we are working towards. And the same appears, the same happens even in these professional settings. Because today we are talking about navigating narcissism in the professional workfield. Judy, do you want to say hi? I'd ask you to invite yourself because I can't see her. Tabison, how are you doing? Let me try and invite you and see. Healthy Man Hub. Guys, I'm trying to invite you so that I can hear your voices and get to know you one by one. Keep tapping the screen, keep sharing the live, and hearting me up there. Join the fan club. Join the fan club, everyone. Yes, so yes, we were talking about those things. I also want to mention a few things you need to be aware of. I don't know whether this will open up this topic for tomorrow. I think this will open up tomorrow's topic if I go this route. But basically, a toxic working culture has a gossip culture, it has a slandering culture, it has an abusive culture, and the abuse is systemic. The abuse comes from the company itself. And on top of the systemic abuse, there's something called epistemic abuse, which is when you report the systemic abuse. And because the narcissist is so good in covering their tracks, that when you report it for assistance, they blame you for reporting it. And so you get doubly abused. So you are abused by the system, systemic abuse happens to you. And then when you report it, say to the HR or to something, or to an independent body, which does not believe you, if you had not been doing the things I've told you, in today's life. Because of that lack of belief, you are viewed as a problem. That is called epistemic abuse. So even the people who are supposed to defend you abuse you back. This is happening if you're working in a narcissistic working environment. Keep tapping the live, keep sharing the live, and join the heart me there, up there, that orangish love heart. If you press that button, you will be able to join the fan club. Send your roses, send your gifts. We accept all those things. We are using this platform in the manner in which it was intended. So I want to go through a brief of the points that we've mentioned today, even as we prepare to end this live. The first thing I say, disappointment